everybody, Brooks and Drag Dimes here and Magnum Motors. I'm here at Porsche Silver Spring in Maryland. I'm going to give you a sneak peek into the Magnum Motors private collection. These are cars that are part of our personal collection, the owners of Magnum Motors, that you probably won't see for sale. Behind me here is a Gunther Works Porsche Speedster, coming from a 993 1995 donor car. And this car is just absolutely incredible. This car right here is $1.25 million. And we're comparing it against the Porsche Turbo S, which comes in at about $250,000. So we got $1 million more for this resto mod car. I'm gonna go over all the features, we're gonna take it for a drive, and then compare both cars. Now, I've seen quite my share of resto mods, and I've never seen something quite like this. The attention to detail on this car is just absolutely incredible. Everything is updated with modern technology and components. It's actually got a front lift system to lift up the front because the front is absolutely dropped to the ground right here. Of course, as you can see, it's a 6-speed manual, and we got a sport exhaust button. It's actually got different modes for the exhaust, and the exhaust is actually 3D printed. You can take a look at it down here. First up, let's take a peek at the drivetrain. Right here is where you pull this lever to open up the rear hatch right here, and we have a 4.0 liter 6-cylinder making 430 horsepower and 300 foot-pounds of torque. Look at the crazy attention to detail in this engine bay. We got some gold flakes up here for some of the heat insulation, big air filter, and everything is just perfect. There's actually crazy. This looks like leather inside the engine bay. So out of this 4-liter motor, it's got billet barrels, a billet crank, male pistons, forged connecting rods, and oil plug ignition. It's actually got a GT3 plenum and tailbox, equal length stainless steel headers, and the engine management is done by Motec. I'm gonna start the engine up, you can give a sound, and then I'm gonna go through the different modes from sport exhaust and regular. All right, we're gonna give it a quick start up in non-sport mode and hear it. Let's hear it. Sounds pretty good, a couple of revs. Now listen to sport mode. A little bit louder. Insane. So the transmission's a GetRag G50 6-speed manual transmission. It's got a single mass flywheel as well. This car also has a front lift system. The front is actually very, very low for this car. It's crazy for a car this age to have this. There's a button right here that says nose lift. Press that button, lights up red, and the car will raise up. Now, taking a look at some of the interior bits, just look at the carbon fiber panel, the leather with the green stitching, this aluminum Gunther Works, and a pull strap right here. So when you listen to this thing close, it's like rock solid. To open it back up, simply pull this lever and it pops back open. You do have to be careful not to close it with this because that's actually releasing the door and the door doesn't close. I've done that a couple times. So boom, shutting the door right there. Now going over some of the dash, of course, we got the nose lift, the lights. This is your keyed ignition on the left side, of course, and the gauges look brand new. Look at the green backing of the gauge right here. Only 66 miles on the car. And over here, you got your kind of sport chrono that you might see on some of the newer cars. Alcantara stripe in the middle, carbon fiber steering wheel. On to over here, of course, we got a 6-speed transmission. Here's the button for the sport exhaust, and then your handbrake. It's also got full AC with this really well done AC control panel here. Here's your AC and your fan speed, your temperature controls, and an elegant radio that matches everything else in the car. Across the top, we have a complete carbon fiber dash and some green leather over here as well. The seats are these really, really cool carbon fiber racing bucket seats, which aren't adjustable front and back. All they do is move forward and back. They're actually fairly comfortable. On through the rest of the center console, we got a couple of mini cup holders. Looks like it'll hold a couple of Red Bulls. And actually, there's a USB port back down here. Pretty sure they didn't have that back in 1995. Of course, being a Speedster, there's actually no top and no windows. You can see right here, it's a complete open top experience. The back here is all carbon fiber as well. There's actually a little bit of storage back here. Down here, if you press this button, this will pop open. And you can see, you can store just about nothing back there. Again, just look at the attention to detail on this car. The carbon work, everything is just absolutely perfect. Even all the kind of looks like 3D printing components that make up all this structure right here is just incredible. The wheels and tires are these custom 18-inch Gunther Works wheels and tires. Brakes are fairly large for the wheels. We got 6-piston Brembos in the front, and in the back, we got another set along with 4-piston brakes. Check out the details in the front right here. Look at these Gunther Works logoed I believe these are LED headlamps, and then it's got also has LED tail lamps in the rear. Now from the factory, you can get actually a full expel done from the factory. So maybe as they're putting the car together, you can see, actually you can't see, this is full expel and you can't see a single edge on the car until you kind of come around the rear and you reach around the back. You can feel it kind of underneath here, but other than that, it just looks absolutely perfect. Door handles has this satisfying clicking. If you want to open up the front, simply pull here. So under here, there's a little latch, you pop it up, and then there's a little prop bar that you drop. Look at the underneath here, it's a complete carbon fiber, and then we got a little prop rod. This drops down to this little section here, and then you got some of the suspension components right here, and then some leather backing, and look at all the carbon tub. Look at the work on this, and up here too, wow. Just incredible. This car weighs in at 2,700 pounds. The car also features fully adjustable suspension. Here are some of the knobs in the front that you can adjust. I'm not going to touch those. And if you want to adjust the rear, you can check out the adjustments down here in the engine bay. Also, to match the green on the seats, we got, look at these custom green seat belts to match. Also, check out the craftsmanship on this. It looks like a billet aluminum custom, maybe 3D printed key. I don't know, but it is really cool. And this goes right over here to start her up. Now Gunther Works will only make 25 of these cars, so this is one of 25, and once a specific color is chosen, they will not replicate it. So once the color's gone, it's gone. Of course, you could pick from whatever color you want, so the likelihood of two people picking the same color out of 25, not likely, but nevertheless, each one is completely unique. So over here we got $250,000. This is the Smyrna Green Porsche 2024 Turbo S. Similar spec to mine, we got the diamond cut wheels, custom paint job. This has the heritage interior, no aero pack, but they did paint the side skirts body color. So pretty cool to see these colors. They're not exactly the same, but they match close enough. Check out some of the, you've already seen me do a Turbo S video on my car, so I'm not gonna spend too much time here, but we got the Burmeister stereo, heritage interior, this brown leather, goes through the rear seats, black seat belts. This car has similar options to mine. Didn't do the custom gauge, so a little bit of green right here, but yeah, check out the interior of the Turbo S. We also have the sunroof. Some other differences on much newer car, we got carbon ceramic brakes, of course, on the Turbo S. Also on the back, we have active aero. This spoiler raises up and down. It's a little different than mine because I have the aero kit, so it doesn't have that kind of lip underneath. The more active aero on the front, this Turbo S lower spoiler retracts down and goes up depending on speed. This car also has active cruise control, so it's got this kind of radar type sensor in the front. So what's your pick? You got the $250,000 Porsche Turbo S or the $1.2 million Gunther Works 993. Enough talk, now it's time to drive. I'm gonna get out in the Gunther Works first and then the Turbo S. Let's ride. All right, let's hear the difference with the Turbo S. Give it some revs. Damn, that sounds good. A little more, a little more. Damn, now let's hear the Turbo S. Wow. I'm definitely going with the Gunther Works on that. Sounds way better. One more time. So here we are, my first ride in the Gunther Works open top experience. This thing's pretty crazy. It's actually got a sport button down here to turn on sport or normal exhaust. It's actually pretty loud on sport. Of course, you got complete open top. There's no side windows or anything in this car. It's making 430 horsepower. And the shifting is just, wow. Everything in this car feels like it's brand new, which it pretty much is. They've redone everything. It's got a lot of torque. Of course, this car's weighing like 2,700 pounds, maybe a little more. In front of me is the Porsche Turbo S that we're comparing it against, both in pretty similar green colors. The shifting is great. The clutch is a little difficult, but pretty smooth. It's got a long throw and it kind of pushes up into the wheel well. Coming around these sweepers, handling's really, really good. Wow, this thing is pretty crazy to drive. Let's downshift in the third and give it a rip. Ah! Wow, this thing's insane. Woo! This thing rips. Wow, this thing is so much fun. Now, admittedly, I've never driven an older Porsche like this one, but I gotta say, this just feels like you're in a brand new Porsche Speedster. Just with this engine roaring behind you, it's a really, really cool experience. Now I'm gonna swap cars in a minute and jump in the Porsche Turbo S, which is probably pretty similar to my car, and give you a little experience of driving both. So after driving the Gunther Works with the open top experience, no windows, no top, super loud exhaust. You heard that rev battle we did. That thing is pretty loud, especially in the sport mode. Right now I'm in Sport Plus in the Turbo S. It's just an everyday driver. I mean, this car is super quiet, super fast, very comfortable. The suspension's compliant. And yeah, I mean, this is one of the ultimate daily driving supercars. 0 to 60 is like in the low 2-second range. I mean, the sound is okay. Could definitely use some more exhaust notes compared to the Gunther Works. But yeah, I mean, that car's $1 million more than this one. Pretty hard to believe. What are your thoughts? What would you choose? Gunther Works Turbo S, or maybe both? Handling through some of these sweepers, just effortless in the Turbo S. Definitely not as rough as the Speedster. Oh man, it's so much torque, it just goes. Oh, there goes the Speedster. This thing's a riot to drive. Coming from the Speedster into the Turbo S, you lose that open air experience. Of course, no windows, no top. I got the windows up, I got the AC on. This thing's just super comfortable cruiser. One of the best all-around daily driving supercars out there. 0 to 60s, low 2 seconds. Let's go! Yeah! That's 60, crazy. Gunther Works Speedster doesn't have that. I gotta say, driving around next to the Gunther Works Speedster, that car gets all the looks. People don't know what they're looking at. It's just a super modern take on an older car. All right, so that's a wrap of checking out the Gunther Works Porsche Speedster and the Porsche Turbo S. Special thanks to Porsche Silver Springs for having us out do some of the video. Of course, this is part of the Magden collection, the private collection behind the scenes. Not all these are for sale, but they could be soon. As always, check out the inventory on magdenmotors.com. We got a lot of Porsches for sale, and we'll see you next video.